We're really excited about our latest development for the student accommodation sector. We've partnered with a company called Guarantor, who have got 10 years experience providing guarantor services directly to students and accommodation providers. And we've created a proposition for student accommodation providers that in the event of a student being unable to pay their rent, the student accommodation provider will not be out of pocket. Some of the challenges in the student accommodation sector that we see from our partners, particularly in the private purpose-built student accommodation sector, are when students rent a room, they need to provide a guarantor, and half of the students that live in these accommodations are actually international. So they don't have access to a UK person that can act as a personal guarantor. And in that situation, those students are either asked to pay a very large sum of rent up front, or they need to provide a private guarantor service. And this in the market, when individually purchased by a student, can be expensive, and it's a convoluted process when they go through and buy it. They're dealing with a third party that they may have been introduced to or they've found themselves, and they're not fully prepared for that process when they're booking a room. So, we've gathered a lot of insight from our partners in the market, and come up with a solution that can solve some of those issues. And it will mean that it will improve the process for the student because they can instantly book their accommodation at a lower cost than having to procure a private guarantor service. And for the accommodation provider, it gives them the certainty that they've got a guarantor service that's provided that will stand up if ever it was needed to be used in the future. So it means the accommodation provider can instantly confirm the room booking for that student. They no longer need to request a guarantor admin process that they would either ask typically a parent if they were UK based and they met the right income criteria. That would be an administration process that they would need to go through and record. They no longer need to do that. If an international student is staying with them, they no longer need to ask for large sums of rent up front, which means they can offer it to a wider population, making those high quality rooms more accessible to a wider audience.